Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smiles. Give us Michael, give us Michael, give us Michael, give a smile. Give us Michael, give us Michael, be the reason someone smile. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Someone smile. Be the reason someone smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone smiles.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla raba emunatecha.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla raba emunatecha.
Hello. I don't know where the next video went. Let's see.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech.
This basically means good week in Hebrew, and it's commonly said starting Saturday night after Shabbat ends. This is because, according to the Jewish calendar, a new week starts when Shabbat ends, and that's Saturday night. Also, fun fact, in Israel, the work week is from Sunday through Thursday because of this reason. Wishing you all a great week. Shavua Tov.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Elli. It is Sunday, the 3rd day of March, the 23rd day of Adar. The Torah portion is Vayakhel. HaYom Yom Rishon. This first day of the first Aliyah. Good morning, how are you? What a week ahead we have. How was Shabbos? First of all, you have to tell me how was Shabbos. Shabbos was good for you? I'm glad. Let me know in the comments. I am so glad to be with you today. Yeah. Yes, good morning, good morning. All right, lots to do, so you're right. Let's get started. Men and boys, take two first.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit.
All right. Al divrei Torah, everybody.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al divrei Torah.
All right. Mekabel.
Hareini mekabel alai mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
Okay. Torah Tziva.
Ay Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha morasha keilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha morasha keilat Yaakov.
All right. And of course, you know that brings us to the giving of tzedakah. Hold on one second here. Let me just get rid of this for right now. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Just making things go a little smoother. All right, tzedakah, are you ready? Okay. There we go. Come on. going on here? breakfastwithelli.live/new computer. Help us get that new computer because we so desperately need it, it seems. All right, we are stuck here, and I don't know how to get out of this. Yeah, that's not good. Application not responding. I broke it. Nope. I broke it. You have to give me a minute. I'm going to have to... gonna have to restart the software here. So if you're listening on audio,
I put it in the pushki that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki that's a doctor box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
so much. All right, and that takes us to the saying of the Shema. Thank you for putting up with me. Are you ready? Here we go. All right, coffee and yogurt. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiyah bidvoroi.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way.
All right, and that takes us to today. I don't have a lot for today. Fairly quiet day. Today is the yahrzeit of Rabbi Yitzchak Meir Alter, the Rebbe of Ger, the author of Chedushay Harim, a commentary on the Talmud and Shulchan Aruch. He was the disciple of the Maggid of Koznitz and Rabbi Simcha Bunim of Pshicha, and the founder of the Ger Hasidic dynasty. All 13 of his sons died in his lifetime, and he was succeeded in 1870 by his younger grandson, Rabbi Yehuda Leib Alter, known as the Tzvas Emes. The Ger Rebbe lived from 1799 to 1866, and he passed away. I believe it was in Poland. It doesn't tell me, but I believe it was. Poland. All right. Just let me get to one more thing I have over here. Yeah, it's a day. It's a day. Good morning, Reza. Reza Musavi, everybody, one of our Patreon sponsors, has joined us. Very exciting. Let's see where it is that I'm looking for here. Yeah, not coming up. Not coming up. Why? So one of those mornings where things are hard to find. I'll get to it in 1 second. Here we go. Should be right here. We are. Got it. All right. The Bnei Yisrael started making the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary, to house the divine presence that accompanied the Jewish people as they journeyed through the desert, was begun today. This was the first of the 7-day inauguration period that happened with the Mishkan. The divine commandment to erect the edifice came today on the 23rd of Adar, when Moshe was instructed to begin a 7-day training period. The Mishkan was erected each morning and dismantled each evening. Moshe served as the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, and initiated Aaron and his 4 sons into the priesthood. Then, on the 8th day, which was the first day of Nisan, the Mishkan was permanently assembled, put up to stand until the divine command would come to journey on. Aaron and his sons assumed the priesthood, and the divine presence came to dwell in the Mishkan. All right. Today is also the day that the second temple was dedicated in the year 516. And the founder of the Irgun movement, David Raziel, passed away on this day in 1979, and the Israeli Knesset approved the first Egypt-Israel peace treaty by a vote of 95 for and 18 against. All right. There is a mitzvah to live in Israel. Here's a little video about that.
Moving to Eretz Yisrael isn't easy. It can be difficult to make a living here. It can be hard, leaving behind your family and friends. So why should you entertain the thought of leaving America, where your life is running smooth, to move to a land with so many challenges? It just doesn't seem to be worth it. But what if it was worth it? See, how much something is worth depends on how much someone values it. Say you had a silver cup, maybe worth a few $100s. But what if that cup belonged to the Chavetz Chaim? Now, that cup is priceless. See, how much something is worth depends on how much you value it. And you can only value something when you truly know what that something is. It's true you're probably living comfortably in America. It's true that you can perform mitzvos and learn Torah there just fine. And it's true that it would be a bad idea to move to a new land for no good reason. But what if you knew that this land was given to the Jewish people as a present from the Creator of the universe? What if you knew that Moshe Rabbeinu prayed hundreds of times just to step foot on this land? What if you knew that some of the greatest sages of all time left behind their families and put their lives at risk just to see this land? What if God Himself told you that this land was created to bring out the very best in every Jewish person? Would it then be worth it? See, most Jews don't think about moving to Eretz Yisrael because it's not worth the cost. But if you truly knew the value of this holy place, you may very well realize it might just be worth it.
How cool is that? All right, that takes us to HaYom for today.
היום הזה הוא זמן שמחתנו, שמע את התפילה שבליבנו, ותמחול את כל עוונותינו ביום הזה.
All right, here we go. Come on.
People will do the most difficult things for their children, whether it's working multiple jobs and working late into the night, or whether it's to quit smoking, something that the most compelling argument sometimes to a person can be, if not for yourself, do it for your kids. Well, after we study today's HaYom, which is very short, there's going to be hopefully another important thing on your list that if you don't do it for yourself, at the very least, you should do it for your kids. Says the HaYom, rabbis and scholars are called the eyes of the community, or the heads of the thousands of Israel. So we refer to rabbis or community leaders, scholars, as the eyes of the community or the head of the community, which is an interesting set of analogies. Why? Says the HaYom. Because when the head is healthy, the body is also healthy. For someone who is in a position of leadership has two huge reasons to do the right thing. Number one, for yourself, right? You want to be a good person for yourself. But even if you can't do it for yourself, or you find it too difficult to do for yourself, if not for you, please recognize that a little bit of corruption, something untoward, inappropriate in your own life, in one way or another, when a leader compromises him or herself, it's not just himself that he's compromising, but the entire, your whole circle of influence is going to be affected by that as well. Just like with a head, right? It's not going to happen that you're going to have, if the head is not healthy, then that's going to affect the entire body. So when you're thinking about the craziest thing or the most difficult thing that you'll do for your kids, recognize that just like when you make huge, tremendous physical sacrifices, it will positively influence the physical well-being of your children. When a person goes the extra mile to improve his or her own spiritual status, when you become a better person, a more moral person, virtuous person, a holier person, you're not just benefiting yourself. It's your children, your family, or anybody in your circle of influence will reap the benefits of that as well.
Fantastic. 60 days of Simcha. Rabbi Minkowitz, and then our joke of the day.
Welcome to our Mishanichnas Adar Marbin Besimcha Happy Thoughts. So we know it says in the Torah, Hashem says, Nase Adam Etzalmenu. Let's make mankind in the image of Hashem. So we have to be in the image of Hashem. And we know it says in the prophets and Divrei HaYomim, which we say every single day in Hoidu in our prayer services, Oiz v'chedva b'mkoimoi. In the place of Hashem is strength and joy and happiness. So if we want to be in the image of Hashem, we have to have oiz v'chedva. We have to go around with joy and happiness, and then we'll be in the image of Hashem. Have a happy Chodesh Adar, Mishnichnas Adar, every single day to add in our Simcha.
What's that animal that you cannot trust?
What's an animal that you cannot trust? She's telling me a joke.
A cheetah.
A cheetah, get it? A cheetah. You can't trust a cheetah. Thank you, Shana, for contributing 60 days of jokes for the Hebrew months of Adar. Our sages say that when we enter Adar, we should increase in our
Jokes.
joy.
Joy jokes.
All right. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidol.com.
PestProRidol.com. Trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidol.com.
Tarzane Group. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzanegroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565. And order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzanegroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
All right, patreon.com/theactorsrabbi or breakfastwithelli.live/new-computer. If you would like to help us get to our goal of having a new computer so we don't have these occasional hiccups like we had today. All right. The name of the Parsha. It is Sunday, so we are going to learn about the name of the Parsha. The Torah portion, Vayakhel, is sometimes connected, most often connected to the Parsha Pekudei. But what's more important? A team mentality where every person belongs to a whole, or a giant community which is greater than its constituent parts? Or is it more important to stress the worth of the individual, how each person was created by Hashem utterly unique, with his own talents and abilities which need to be nurtured in isolation? This friction between the whole and the parts is encapsulated by the Parshas Vayakhel and Pekudei, two Parshas that are often read together. Vayakhel means assembled. If you remember, we had the year of Vayakhel last year, as in Moshe assembled. Now, there are a few words in Hebrew that mean to gather, but Vayakhel in particular emphasizes how all the assembled members merged identity to form a single whole, a kehillah, an assembly. Kehillah, you heard that right? It's a good term. The word Pekudei means counting, an idea which stresses the worth of an individual, how every person counts as a separate entity. So, when these two parshas come together, the Torah is teaching us and giving us the spiritual potential to harmonize these two opposing qualities. In practical terms, this can take a number of expressions. Vayakhel represents the quality in our divine service. Since merging with the greater whole confers on a person a qualitative superior experience, he is now a member of a greater cause that he could not reach alone. Pekudei, on the other hand, represents the advantage of quantity. Vayakhel represents a penetrating view of the world, where the details of existence pale away to reveal a holistic spiritual mass, the revelation and realization that there is nothing but Hashem, Elokus bepnimius, bepashtus rather. Pekude represents a smaller view of the world, where every detail is seen in its own right, with the understanding that every detail reveals Hashem's glory in its own way. Excuse me. Vayakhel teaches us, however, that however low a person may be, he's still part of the communal whole, and thereby intimately associated with the leaders of the community. And Pekude teaches us that however low a person may be, he still has his own unique talent, which Hashem did not give to any other person. And this year we read the two parshas separately. One of the reasons is it's a leap year. We have an extra month of Adar. And so we need to separate the parshas. All right. In the first Aliyah, on the day after Moshe ascended from Sinai with the second tablets, he successfully secured atonement for the sin of the golden calf, and he gathered all the Jewish people. The primary purpose of this assembly, this Vayakhel, was to inform the Jews of Hashem's desire for a sanctuary, a mishkan, to be constructed. He began, however, with a brief reminder regarding the observance of Shabbos, and this was followed by a description of the materials needed to construct the Mishkan and a list of the vessels, tabernacle parts, and priestly garments which were to be produced. All right. And that, boys and girls and others, takes us to Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Afton. Are you ready? All right. Parsha points for today. It's coming.
Points Vayakhel for Sunday. Don't build the Mishkan on Shabbos. Gotcha. In fact, all the forms of prohibited labor on Shabbos are what we did to build the Mishkan. If I can't do it for God's house, I certainly can't do that for my house. But why not? Why can't we build the Mishkan for Hashem on Shabbos? It's a labor of love. It's for God. I mean, what's the issue? The message of Shabbos is that there's something greater than creation, greater than accomplishment. Shabbos is Hashem within himself. Shabbos allows us, compels us to be within ourselves, restful and not restless.
Right. And that takes us to Shnayim Yomi.
Parashat Vayakhel, first Aliyah. Vayakhel is known to be the parasha that starts the application of Parashat Tiruma and Tetzaveh, which is the theoretical part of the Mishkan, the collecting of the funds, the kelim, everything is discussed in these two parashot. Vayakhel Pekudeh discuss the actual moment it happened, how they built it, etc. So Vayakhel Moshe gets all the Bnei Israel together. Rashi tells us that he chose a very particular moment to do that, which is the day after Yom Kippur, when he comes down from heaven, after he went several times to Har Sinai, and he comes down on Yom Kippur with the second set of tablets. Now he feels Bnei Israel are ready to start a new adventure, which is the building of the Mishkan. So Rashi is the one who tells us that he comes down the day after Yom Kippur to start this big project. Now, there's something else that Rashi tells us in another parasha that happened the day after Yom Kippur. You know what this is? This is, I don't know if you remember, when Yitro speaks to his son-in-law Moshe, and he says, you are overwhelmed with too many things. You cannot take care of every single member of the Klal Israel. Every time there's a problem, there's a she'elah, there's a question, there's an advice, you're the one taking care of everything. It's just impossible. That also happened on the day after Yom Kippur. That Moshe Rabbeinu says, you know what? We're going to have to put a system in place with several dayanim, several judges and chachamim that are going to help me. Now, is there a connection between it? It cannot be just a coincidence that these two things happen on the day after Yom Kippur. I mean, could have waited a couple of days to make another project. No, both things happen when he starts judging the whole Klal Israel through many dayanim that are coming to help him, and also when he's presenting the project of the Mishkan, which is mainly collecting funds from the Klal Israel to be able to make this Mishkan. Our Chachamim tell us that there is a connection. And you know what that is? These dayanim had to go through every person to make sure that the donation they were giving for the Mishkan was coming from a kosher source. That's why they had to sit down like a dayanim, like judges who are judging dinei mamonot. They were coming with their situation. They said, did the earning I have any problem of kashrut? Was it okay for me to charge this money? Because when you want to donate money, it has to come from a source that is kosher. There's a Maharsha in Masechet Ketubot that tells us if somebody gives a donation from a place, from a fund that was not kosher money, that was not earned honestly, this is not accepted as a donation. It's called mitzvah abba be'avera. It's like if somebody does the avera, a sin, in order to make a mitzvah. It doesn't work. It has to be clean from the beginning until the end. That's why on the day after Yom Kippur, two projects are initiated. The project of Mishkan and collecting the funds, but also in parallel to make sure that this money, these funds, come from a kosher place. How careful we have to be that our earnings are done with honestly.
Right. Fantastic. We have so much to talk about. And that takes us to Rabbi Zosha Zilberstein.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Parsha Studio. In Parsha Shkalim, we learned that each Jew was commanded to bring a machatzis hashekel, a half-shekel coin. In honor of this, we are going to make a special machatzis hashekel craft. Here are the supplies that we will need. A piece of black cardstock, 3 types of silver cardstock, a printout of the
My dear friends, let's take some tzedakah, put it into the pushka, and together with our prayers for the imminent redemption, and this will solve all problems. Bring back our hostages, bring back our dead, and all of us celebrating together with Moshiach in the Beis HaMikdash. So please Hashem, do that today. There's this famous line, an astonishing one, that the prophet Eliyahu, Elijah the prophet, calls to the people when they were worshipping idols. And he says the following, Vayomer, and Elijah said, Ad mosai atem poischim al shtei seifim. How long will you waver between 2 opinions? In simple language, how long will you dance on 2 weddings? How long will you be on 2 sides of the fence? Im Hashem ha'elokim, if God is God, lechu acharav, follow him. Vim habal, and if Baal, an idol, you consider God, lechu acharav, follow him. And then the pasuk says, V'lo anuhu ha'moiseh dover, and the people did not respond. What's the story? So actually this is the Torah, the Haftorah reading of this Shabbat, which is based, connected to the story of the sin of the golden calf. Famous, or infamous, I should say, King Achav, the 8th of the Jewish kings, married to Isabel, both of them wicked, one more than the other. They introduced to the Jewish people idol worshipping of different kinds. And they were ruthless, particularly Isabel. She killed hundreds of the Jewish prophets and enforced and encouraged and enticed everyone to follow idol worshipping. At one point, Eliyahu meets with Achav and calls him to a challenge. And he says the following, I want you and your priests and idol worshippers come to Mount Carmel, and we are going to have a challenge once and for all, and we will prove to the world who is right. Is it you or is it me? And he says, Shlach, Kvoitzelei Kol Yisrael, call the entire Jewish community to the Mount of Carmel. Ves Neviah Baal, the prophets of Baal, 450. And the Neviah HaAsherah, another kind of idol worshipping, 400. All of them they're called Oichle Shulchan Izebel, those who eat at Izebel's table. In other words, her underlings. And what does he say? They all come. And now at Mount Carmel he says like this, I challenge you. Let's all bring offerings. Put it on the wood. Don't put any fire. And I will put mine also on the wood. And also I will not put fire. Call out to your God. They should send God down the fire flame to consume these offerings. And then I will. And then we'll see which God is sending down the fire. Eliyahu is generous. He says, you go first. The majority, go first. From day to night they're standing there and doing all their shtick and nothing happening. And then Eliyahu teases them and says, maybe your God is asleep, scream a little louder. And they go start screaming and jumping and killing each other. They're spearing each other with blood, which is Interesting how the performance of idol worshipping is all about. But nothing is happening. And then finally, Aliyah takes 12 stones representing the 12 tribes, and he makes an altar, and he puts wood, and he puts the offering, and he says, flood the place with water. Nobody should think that I pulled a fast one. Praise to God, and the fire comes down and consumes. Everybody was proven that Eliyahu is right, and he followed God. But here's the question. When he introduces this, he says, why do you dance on two sides of the fence? If you believe in Baal, follow. How could it be that Eliyahu Hanavi should even suggest, you believe in Baal, go for it? How can he even suggest the option of choosing idol worshipping? So the Rebbe explains as following. A person commits a sin because he thinks erroneously that although he commits a sin, he's still connected to God. Because no Jew wants to disconnect from God. But he makes the error in thinking, I commit a sin and I'm still connected. But when pushed against the wall, and he said, it's either this or this, you cannot have it both ways, then there's no question that every single Jew chooses God.
Is that beautiful? Is that absolutely beautiful? All right, we have just exactly enough time for our 2-minute rabbi today, and let's do that right now.
Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
In English, as well as in the holy language of Torah, we have a practice of verbing nouns. You may recognize people say, let's party. They turn the noun party into a verb. Well, in Torah, we have a word kahal, which means a congregation. Vayakhel means to assemble or to congregate. So the parsha begins and it says, Vayakhel, and Moshe assembled or congregated, and then it comes to the noun. And the noun is a different word for congregating. It's the word adas, also commonly translated as the assembly and the community. As we know, every word in Torah is precise. So why is Moshe Vayakheling the adas? One might have anticipated it would say, Vayakhel Moshe es kahal, that Moshe congregated the congregation. We know that Torah likes consistency, and when there's this seeming oddity, it's an indication that there's a lesson for us. Vayakhel means to simply gather together a disparate group of people. What is the function of gathering people together? Is it simply to overwhelm with brute force, with numbers? Well, the Torah says it's adas b'nei Yisrael. The word adas has a root word, aid, testimony, or witness. So the congregation, or the congregating of the mass of b'nei Yisrael, the children of Israel, is designed for adas. It's designed for an attestment that the fact that Jews come together, that the children of Israel come together, they've come together for the construction of the Mishkan after the horrors of the golden calf. They've come together with their wealth, with their talents, with their common purpose,